What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video here at Universal Strength Gym. We are in the warehouse. It is hot as hell, and I want to talk about a few things that you should consider if you are thinking about opening up your own gym. But before we get into that, if you want to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, we are a fairly new business, and we'd love if you continue watching us as our business continues to grow. But let's get into it. Tip number one, you need to ask yourself, why do you want to open a gym? What's that drive? What is your why? Why not just have a gym membership? Why not buy a bunch of equipment and create a really cool custom garage setup? Do you have a deep passion to train people in your own facility? Is there maybe a part of the market that no one else has tapped into and you can really jump and create that niche and pull people into it? Or do you just want to have that flexibility, be your own boss, not report to anybody and run things the way that you think it needs to be run? If those are some of the reasons why, then sure, move forward. But if you're just wanting to open a gym because, you want to work out whenever you want, you want to have financial freedom, you want to come and go as you please, you need to reevaluate a little bit. You can't see this as just, I want my dream gym. You need to see this as a business, and a business that needs to be profitable and grow and work efficiently. So ask yourself that. That's the first thing you need to do before you do anything else. Tip number two, try and figure out what your target market is, and more specifically, what type of gym you personally would like to open. Do you want to open a bodybuilding gym? Do you want to open a powerlifting gym? A personal training studio, group fitness, whatever it is, you need to figure out your target market, because you don't want to throw your net so wide that you don't really catch any, good fish. If you throw a business card to somebody and it says bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, personal training, overall fitness, general conditioning, it's going to confuse some people. They're not really going to understand or have a good, clear idea of what you're selling. Here at Universal Strength Gym, we market ourselves as a powerlifting/Olympic weightlifting gym. Now, someone who doesn't have either of those fitness goals could still come in and utilize the gym and get great benefits. But the way we market ourselves is to primarily say our equipment is catered towards powerlifters and Olympic weightlifters, but we do welcome all who like working out. Tip 2.5. Once you have your target market and you know what type of gym you need to have, you also need to find out if that market is even in your area. Don't open a gym where there's no one around who wants to work out that way. If you're wanting to open a CrossFit gym and there's no one in the area who wants to join CrossFit, whether you do surveys or go out and just talk to people, if you don't have that market there, then your market's just not there. You either need to open up somewhere else or open up under a different style. Also, when you're looking for your target market and your target gym atmosphere you're trying to build, also see where your competitors are. If you're wanting to be a CrossFit gym and there are 3 CrossFit gyms within a mile and a triangular basis around you, then that's probably not the best location. That goes a little more into the location aspect, but these are all things you need to think about when you're looking at your target market, the audience, and also just the community and possible competition. Tip 3, budget. The one thing that everyone wants to talk about and simultaneously does not want to talk about. With the budgeting aspect, gyms cost money. It costs money to open a gym, to prepare a gym, but also it costs a lot of money to maintain and run a gym and keep it operating. I'm going to split this off into 2 sides. One is, are you going to pay for everything out of pocket from savings or some other way, or are you going to take out a loan? If you're opening a really big gym that's going to cost a lot of money, you might want to look at a loan. But with a loan, you need to make sure that you're able to pay that loan back. I think Mark Cuban was one who'd said it, only idiots open a business by taking out a loan, because once you started that, the only thing you've insured is that you have a loan to pay back. Now, that's not a way to scare you, but I'm saying if you're going to look at that route of taking a loan out, borrowing money, and spending it on the business, you need to make sure that you're going to be able to pay that loan back. On the other side, if you're looking to just pay for this out of pocket, whether savings or a joint partnership like Jimmy and I, we both own Universal Strength Gym, so we were able to split the cost. He bought some stuff, I bought some stuff, he put money in, I put money in. So we were able to share that cost. But if you're doing this by yourself or even as a partnership and you don't have a lot of capital in the beginning, you need to figure out how much money you need to save every single month to get towards your towards your budget, towards what you think it is you're going to need to open and then continue operating. So if you think you can open on $20,000, you need to figure out, okay, how much can I put aside every single month and how long is it going to take. So little stuff like that, budgeting things out, which actually leads me into our next tip. Tip number 4, research your equipment. And when I mean this, get a list together of what equipment you want to have in the gym. You know, do you want to have squat racks? Do you want to have deadlift platforms? Do you want to have machines? Do you want to have dumbbells, cardio equipment? Get a list together, just a general list. Don't think about money. Just in the beginning, get a list of everything you can think of that you want to have in the gym. Then you can trim it down a little bit to the equipment that you really need versus the equipment that you really just want but is not necessary in the beginning. Once you have that list trimmed down to a pretty good set list of equipment that you want and need at the same time, research different brands. Look at different avenues to get equipment. If you just look at the very first brand, the very first squat rack you see, and it's $1,000, and you say, okay, well, you know, a squat rack's going to cost $1,000. No, there are plenty of squat racks, great squat racks that cost less than $1,000, but you need to be able to compare that. When we started doing our budgeting and our planning and equipment we wanted, we did a price point. So we basically would look at 3 different brands or 3 different places that we could find, you know, each piece of equipment, so we had options, and then we took the average. So we would figure out, okay, on average, this is how much a squat rack is going to be. We found the lowest possible squat rack we could find, the most expensive, and then something in the middle. Just don't jump on the very first one you see. If you do that, you might end up spending a lot more money than you really need to. Which brings me to the next point of number 5. Pre-owned equipment. Pre-owned equipment is amazing. So much money you can save with pre-owned equipment. Probably about half the stuff we have in the Universal Strength Gym is pre-owned, which is awesome. Our dumbbells are pre-owned. Some of these benches are pre-owned. Our cable machine is pre-owned. Our leg press back here, that's pre-owned. But they work really well because pre-owned equipment, if you haven't thought about it, it costs less than if you got it brand new. And worst case scenario, if you have to sell the equipment, you're selling it pre-owned, so you actually might make a good portion of your money back. If you buy a car for $2,000 that's, you know, pre-owned and you sell it in 6 months, you can probably sell it for around the same price unless something's wrong with it. If you buy a brand new car for $20,000, try and sell it in a year, good luck getting that $20,000 back. It ain't gonna happen. Depreciation is a bitch. But in all seriousness, pre-owned equipment can really help you save a lot of money. The biggest thing we actually saved money on was our weight plates. All of these. Every single one of our weight plates, at least the steel ones, is a used plate. We scavenged places like Letgo, OfferUp, eBay, Facebook, buy-sell trade groups, and other avenues like that, and found tons of plates. We bargained back and forth, got the best deal possible, and then what we did is we grinded them all down and then repainted them. So even though the plates here are a multitude of different brands, they all look very uniform because we painted them all the same color. And I'll give you some numbers with it. We calculated if we bought all the plates we have right now, if you're going by poundage, on average we would have spent about $600 to $6,500. So around $6,000, we'll put a round number on it. We spent less than $2,000 on all these plates. So we saved potential $4,000 right there. Now, I will say, pre-owned equipment, it will take you a little bit longer sometimes because you have to look for it and it's not something you can just, you know, point and click on someone's website. You do have to do a little bit of research and a little bit of, you know, get some elbow grease in there and really dig to find the best deals. But if you're on a budget or you're trying to save money in general, pre-owned equipment is a great avenue that you need. Definitely look into. 2, 3, 4, 6. That's one right now. Figure out how many hats you want to wear. And what I mean by this is it kind of goes into, are you going to have employees? If you're going to have employees, then this doesn't 100% apply to you. But if you're like us and you're not really working with any sort of a staff except for, you know, the 2 of us, you need to figure out how many of those hats you really want to wear. Here at the gym, yes, I am an owner. Yes, I'm also the operator. But I'm also partially the tech guy, the mechanical guy, so I do maintenance on everything here. I clean everything here. I do all this stuff online in terms of, you know, marketing or Facebook or, you know, social media, YouTube videos. So I wear a lot of different hats depending on the hour. You need to figure out how many of those hats you really care about wearing. If you're not a hat person, then find someone who's willing to wear a hat. I'm not a hat person, so I just pretend I'm wearing a hat, and it works out beautifully. And the last one is balance, which ties everything together, especially into tip number 6, is figuring out for you personally how you're going to balance the gym, a business, with everything else that happens in your life. You know, balancing home life. You know, do you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, wife, husband? Do you have kids? Do you have pets? Are you involved in the community? Do you go to church every Sunday? Are there groups that you meet with? Are you going to do this full-time? Or are you going to do it part-time? Are you going to work another job? Are you not going to work another job? These are things you need to think about. Again, it comes into more play once you have the business up and running, but you need to consider how you're going to balance all these things so you don't end up screwing all of them up. You need to make sure that you can be focused and work on the business well, then go to your job, work on your job really well, and not just be thinking about the business. You also need to be able to go home and focus on family time, being at home, relaxing. The worst thing you can do is go home to your spouse and the entire time you're home just think about the business, just talk about the business and stress to them about the business. It's fine to cross them over a little bit and talk about them, but you don't want to bring all the problems or all the stress into something else. When I leave here and I leave the warehouse and I go home to my fiance, I might talk about the business, you know, how my day went. But if there's something here that's stressing me out, I don't bring that home to her. She doesn't deserve that, and it's really not appropriate. So you need to find out where that happy medium, that balance is going to be for you personally. Now, understand there are way more things that you need to consider about opening a business besides what I just talked about right here, but these are a lot of the key points, at least the ones that I feel from the personal experience of opening up this gym. If you have any additional questions, leave a comment below, send a message. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, you continue to watch us to grow here at Universal Strength Gym. Train hard, and we'll see you next time.